Hi, I'm Kinskey, and by the end of today's video, you'll know 6 step-by-step effective things to do and say when your child has tantrums that involve hitting, biting, kicking, scratching, or other aggressive behaviors. Or in other words, you'll know what to say before and during every part of a meltdown to help your children learn another way. These responses to our kids, which we'll be talking about today, all take into mind 3 key parenting tools. And those tools are empathy, transition awareness, and giving our children choices whenever we can. Empathy and awareness about choices for our kids comes in understanding that during meltdowns, a child is often feeling like they have no choice, or that so much of their day and experience is outside of their control. We must remember that it is really healthy for our kids developmentally to want to have some control in their lives, to feel like they have some say in their experiences. After all, this is what will help them to become leaders of their own lives as they go into adulthood, are masters of their own destiny by having lots of practice in making choices, including how they spend their time. And transition awareness comes in understanding that transitions are those times of the day when we have to switch gears, when we're moving from one part of our day to the next, and that children often have tantrums during transitional moments of the day, especially kids who have had trauma, loss, or a lot of stress. So we'll be using transitional warnings, which are things we can say which help our kids roll into the next part of their day rather than becoming rigid, fighting, or shutting down. So here are those statements. These are preventing tantrum statements, or things that we can say before going into situations when our children or our child is more likely to have a meltdown at some point. 1, we want to make sure we have what we need because sometimes the store can be a hard place to be. I've got your water bottle and a snack for you for our drive there, and we'll take your blanket too. Can you think of anything you'd like to have with you at the store? 2. So these are some transitional warning statements that you can say to your child. Noah, we have 15 minutes before you'll need to say goodbye to Liam so we can go home from your play date. And just want to let you know. Then again, Noah, we have 10 minutes before you'll need to say goodbye to Liam so we can go home. Just want to let you know. And finally, Noah, we have 5 minutes before we need to go home from your play date. So we need to put on our shoes now and our jackets so we can be ready to go in a few minutes. Here are your shoes. So with a younger child, you can say something like, you can put them on yourself, or Dad can help you put your shoes on. You get to decide. You can also use a goodbye song when it's time to leave. And one song that I like to use with kids goes like this. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye to you. I'll see you, I'll see you, I'll see you soon. So that might seem like not a big deal, but actually singing to our kids can help them so much in making changes during their day. And why is that? It's because kids and adults too, but our brains and our nervous systems really respond to things like rhyme and rhythm and melody and routines, all those things you can sort of, and rituals, you can sort of think of those things as things that sort of help regulate us through a sense of rhythm. So really think about using songs to help your kids transition. It's a very powerful tool. So now we'll go into some pre-tantrum statements, or what to say when we see behavior that tells us our child is likely to have a meltdown. And as we go into these statements, remember that by using the word need, we can help our younger children especially, but even older children, become more aware of their needs, which is a really key part of what is activated for kids when a tantrum happens. Some sort of need is not getting met. So here we go. 1, you look tired, honey, and like you're starting to have a hard time. I see it's really hard for you when I have to say no. It looks like you might need some help, so the big feelings don't take over. I can hold you, or you can sit with Daddy while he reads you a book while we rest. You get to decide. 2, you look sad and mad when I need to say no to these things that you really want me to buy for you. And Mama can't buy toys every time we go to the store. It looks like we might need to take a break outside of the store so the big feelings don't take over. When you feel better, we'll come back in and finish shopping. If your child refuses to come with you, you can say, you can either walk or Mama will need to carry you. You get to decide. And remember, the tone that you use is everything. We want to use a calm tone so that our children can borrow from our calmness, from our strengths in moments when they're about ready to have a meltdown, because that's how they learn to regulate. 3, if your child begins to hit, scratch, bite, or have other aggressive behavior, you can say, ouch, that really hurt, Mama. You need to use safe and gentle hands with me. We can go punch the pillows or the punching bag together to get those big and mad feelings out, and I'll be right there with you. And if your child refuses, you can say, okay, and we still need to have safe and gentle hands and feet so you can stop hitting and kicking. Or we can punch some pillows, or you may need me to help you keep your hands safe and gentle. You can decide. 4, if a child at that point continues to have aggressive behavior, you can say, it looks like you really need me to help you keep your hands and your feet safe and gentle so you don't hurt Mama or yourself. I'm going to hold your hands, and you let me know when you're ready to have safe and gentle hands again. So as we are talking about ever holding our children's hands or feet in any way, it really is very important that we talk about staying super conscious. So we don't want to create another cycle, another generation that really struggles with violence in any way. And one of the ways that happens is what kids learn through what they receive from their parents. So just remembering that kids who have aggressive behavior are more at risk of being abused, of parents getting physical with them. And so a part of us staying really conscious is, 1, remembering that any kind of use of physically holding our children is a last resort. It really is a resort that happens when we've tried to get them to stop hitting or being aggressive in any way, and it is just continuing. Sometimes this happens with kids who have had a lot of loss and trauma early on. So remember, safety first. We have to stay really conscious, and so we must be aware of our own background noise. By background noise, I mean the responses in our heads and nervous systems that we received from our parents or caregivers that were aggressive, impatient, shaming, and unaware of our developmental needs. when we as children had strong feelings. So as children or teens, that is. So background noise might include messages that we received when we were kids or teens again, like, stop acting like a baby. I'll give you something to cry about. Get out of my sight until you can pull yourself together. What is wrong with you? Big boys don't cry. Grow up. So just being aware, is that popping into your head when you have a child who is having a meltdown or a tantrum, and being aware of that being background noise rather than the truth of what is happening or what needs to happen. And this helps us to also stay with the awareness that our children's most powerful learning is what they learn through their nervous system's felt sense. And by felt sense, I'm referring to what they can see in our expression, what they're hearing by the tone and volume of our voice, what they're experiencing through their sense of touch, through their skin. So when we're holding them, are they sensing angry hands, rough hands, or are they sensing calm, steady, loving hands? And when parents use gentle and safe hands, and voices too, our kids are literally storing this memory in terms of that felt sense in their nervous systems, which is a very cool thing, because children who learn to feel, there's that word feel for felt sense, children who learn to feel safe, understood, secure, and worthy, and this is in terms of their nervous system's memory, in relationship, will also learn to relate safely with others. So this gives them their most powerful memory for learning how to do things differently. It's not nearly so much about what we try to teach them with our words when they're having big feelings and big upset and become aggressive, which, by the way, kids who have aggressive behavior have actually either seen or experienced that themselves, so they tend to act that out, or they've had hard beginnings that involved a lot of loss and trauma. So again, just remembering it's not nearly as much about what we're trying to teach them with our words, but how we make them feel. Release their hands and feet just as soon as you can, as soon as they're able to practice those safe and gentle hands again, remembering that this is not about punishment. It's about being a gentle, a safe, and a calm presence so that they can borrow from your strength. It's about making sure that no one is getting hit, kicked, pinched, or otherwise. And that's all, no punishment. Then really remembering that your child is learning from you every step of the way with this. So part of what you're doing is modeling for them how to hold a safe container when things are really hard, as you are also using gentle hands and a gentle voice. So remembering all of that is their learning opportunity in those moments when they've become aggressive. 5, if your child is biting and hitting at the same time as they're kicking you, it really is important to help your child stop. You can do this by what we can call a safe hands and feet hug. So this is where you sit on the floor with your child, as this helps to ground them when they're feeling out of control. So as gently as you can, have your child sit in your lap facing outward from you, and gently holding their hands and feet. So remember, gently, this is not about punishment. It's just about keeping everyone safe. Ask your child, are you ready to use safe and gentle hands yet? Show me your safe hands and feet. Can you show Daddy your safe and gentle hands and feet? And then you can celebrate with them by saying, oh, that's great, you got this. And then let go of holding your child this way as soon as you can. And remember, kids who have aggressive behavior need tools for safe and full expression, like having pillows that they can hit, or a punching bag in the garage or their room, because all of these things also support them in moving emotional tension out of their bodies. This is a very positive and proactive practice they'll take with them when they feel safe and loved and where they can be themselves and name and take care of their needs. So that's it for today. Tell me in the comment section below how you've helped your child to curb aggressive behaviors and tantruming in a way that meets their needs and that you feel great about. And if you're watching this anywhere else but on KathyKinskey.com, on my blog, head on over there and sign up for getting more awesome parenting nuggets and support. And remember, we're all in this together and we're better together. See you next time. Want help with the power tools of empathic listening, boundaries, and more for curbing tantrums? Click below on more for free videos, guides, and templates that you can start using with your child today.